So I had said in my last video that I wasn't going to be a to be read because as soon as I commit to doing something, I instantly break that commitment. But despite that, I have decided that I actually will do a to be read for the month of February. Well, that ponytail didn't last very long. I've even given my to be read books for this month a theme, and that is books I haven't finished. So the first book I'm reading this month is Darker Still by Leanna, Renee, Hieber. I can't show you the cover right now because it's on my Nook, and to show you the cover would mean losing my spot in the book. I know there's a bookmarking function on my Nook, but I just prefer the option to just like leave it on whatever page I'm actually on. It's so much easier and I don't have to like figure out how to work the bookmark function, which is like 3 button clicks. Darker Still is about a young woman, Natalie Stewart, in the 1800s who is mute. Her father, when her mother died when she was 4, Natalie simply lost the ability to speak, and as a result she was sent off to a school especially designed for mute and deaf and I believe blind girls as well. But she's recently come back to her father, and her father asks her what she would want to do with her life, and she decides that she wants to work in museum acquisitions, which is acquiring paintings for museums. She's decided to do this because she has heard of a legendary painting about a young man named Lord Dinbury, and this painting is supposedly very lifelike of the late Lord Dinbury. And since this is a paranormal romance, I'll leave you to imagine just how fake the painting of Lord Dinbury actually is. I'm a little under halfway through the book. It's really good. But then I am a sucker for ghost stories, and this is a ghost story. So we are getting all of the events that we are not getting the events as they happen, but as she remembers them. The second book I'm reading is Alara, Unbroken by Beyer. This is a book I grabbed off my shelf when I had jury duty last month, or jury selection last month. As you can see, I still have the jury duty pamphlet in my book. It's my bookmark. This is a Magic the Gathering book, so if you are all familiar with Magic the Gathering, this book takes place on the plane of Alara, which is currently, as of 100 pages into the book, broken up into 5 sections. Esper, Grixis, Naya, Jund, and Bant. So if you are at all familiar with the different planeswalkers in the card game, the planeswalkers in this story are Ajani, Sarkhan, and Esper. There's someone who isn't a planeswalker. His name is Rafiq. Their job is basically to stop Nicol Bolas from doing whatever Nicol Bolas is planning on doing. Nicol Bolas was in the first chapter, and then he was like, I'm gone. I'm just that badass. I say my piece, and then you guys have to worry about the rest. I'm sure he will be back, seeing as how Nicol Bolas is one of the most badass planeswalkers of all time. Unlike a lot of the previous Magic the Gathering books, this is actually a standalone novel. It doesn't come in 3 parts for each cycle. I actually kind of like it, but then I have a history of knowing Magic the Gathering lore, and it's like, hey, here's a book on lore. Enjoy. So I picked this up because I started reading this very recently, I want to finish it as opposed to like picking up another book that I read a long time ago and being like, where did I leave off? Okay, and then like having to reread something. The next book is a book I have major book guilt about because I bought it when I was 9. I'm now 22. Pretty sure I was 9 when I bought this. No, I was 10. I was off by a year. The book is Shiva's Fire by Suzanne Fisher Staples. I bought this book because when I was 10, I loved the cover, and I was really interested in different cultures. This book is about Parvati, who is destined to become a dancer, Then she meets a boy and she falls in love and she has to decide between the boy and her destiny, which is dancing. And I started to read it. And then I set the book down because I had to write an essay for school. And I never picked it back up. And I'm like, but it was so good and interesting, you know, the book guilt is killing me. And the final book I want to finish this month is the final book in the Artemis Fowl series. I started this book, which is why I get to throw it into my unfinished books. I pre-ordered this book. It came in the mail. I got it on the day it was released. And being that Artemis Fowl is the only book that I ever declared to be my favorite book series over Harry Potter, when Harry Potter was still being written and there was like all the Harry Potter hype, you would think that I would commit to finishing the series. I haven't yet. I'm one chapter in, one chapter. I think part of me just, this is one of the last vestiges of my childhood. One of the last things that I started in my childhood that has yet to finish. But all things must end, and I've decided that it will end this month. I will know the fate of Artemis Fowl by the end of February. Until next time, TTYL.